Tobacco. We see it all the time. On billboards, in magazines, in the movies.
We even see people we know smoking, so it's easy to forget the harm tobacco does. Each year, tobacco causes millions of people to get sick and die early. In fact, enough people die from tobacco to completely fill 30 school buses every day.
My friend Jason and I have been learning about the dangers of tobacco by talking with doctors, smokers, even young people like you.
What we've learned is that no one plans or expects to become addicted to tobacco. They smoke a few cigarettes here and there, and before they know it, they're hooked. See for yourself.
You know you're hooked on tobacco when you have every reason in the world to not do it, but you do it anyway.
The thing about it is that it's very subtle in its effect. You don't notice that you're actually starting to crave it until quite some time after you've started smoking.
I didn't know what nicotine was until I became a tobacco control specialist in 1991. And even at that time, it was hard to quit because I had quit everything else that was not beneficial to my health except cigarettes. I couldn't kick the habit.
Some doctors liken it to the same effects of a heroin addict. Nicotine is just that addicting. Once you start smoking the cigarette and you realize that it's causing damage, it's very hard for you to stop just by sheer willpower alone. And you often need to seek the care of a physician or a psychiatrist or psychologist.
Fact. Kids who start smoking are more likely to get lower grades in school. They may have a low self-image and they don't know how to say no to tobacco.
What's it like to be addicted to tobacco? To find out, we asked some real smokers.
If I don't have a cigarette, I get irritated.
I can't run about half a block without breathing real hard.
I'm already, coughing pretty heavily, and
I can't play ball, I can't play football without having to take, numerous breaks at a time.
The first time I tried it, I was with my friends and they were smoking it, and it gave me a head rush. And I was like, ooh, it feels cool. But after a while, it stops, and then I started getting hooked on it and needing it every day.
Fact. Tobacco is often the first drug used by kids who use alcohol and illegal drugs like marijuana.
Nicotine is one of the most addictive drugs in the world, but it's just one of the harmful ingredients found in tobacco.
With every puff, a smoker breathes in 4,000 chemicals, including hundreds of poisons like ammonia, sulfuric acid, and arsenic, which is rat poison.
The effects of all those poisons add up with each cigarette, causing a long list of deadly diseases.
The long-term effects of cigarette smoking are more damaging and more devastating, and they're more subtle. However, once you get them, they're permanent.
My grandma used to smoke a pack, half a pack each day. And then as she got older, she started to really get sick.
And there's very little that medicine or science can do to rectify the condition.
When the doctor told my mom that she was, dying from lung cancer, then that's obviously the reason why she wasn't feeling well after smoking all them cigarettes.
If you're getting cancer, you're probably lucky in the sense that you don't last very long, you pass away relatively quickly. If you don't get cancer, what you're usually left with is pulmonary disease of a chronic nature, which is very disabling and very debilitating. You can't run, you can't walk up a flight of stairs.
My dad, he got really bad bronchitis, and when he went to the doctor advised him to quit smoking.
A lady who managed an apartment I lived in the Wilshire district, she had emphysema, and she was dying of emphysema, and she had quit smoking 7 years prior to her getting emphysema.
The best that we doctors can do is to give you medicines which may make you feel a little bit better or may halt some of the progressive deterioration, but once you get it, you've got it.
You have to realize the health consequences related to smoking. You will start losing your breath when you start running. You will start getting yellow teeth. You will start getting yellow fingernails.
Fact. 3,000 kids become regular smokers every day. About 1,000 of them will die early because of tobacco.
Anybody who thinks smoking looks cool should think about this. Smoking causes yellow teeth, pimples on the gums, a hairy-looking growth on the tongue, and stained fingernails.
And nicotine causes less blood flow to the skin, which can make the face and hands look pale and dry, and cause early wrinkles.
Smoking is really unpleasant in terms of your physical appearance, particularly if you're going to wear braces. Because what's going to happen is you're going to smoke cigarettes or you're going to chew tobacco, and with your braces on, you're going to have browning, yellowing, tint-colored in back of your braces. So when the braces finally come off, your teeth are all mottled. Some are white, some areas are brown, some are yellow. If you don't have braces, you get just the general yellowing and brown discoloration with cigarette smoking. And that does not take a long time to do.
And your teeth get all yellow and nasty, your breath starts smelling, and you're always impatient if you don't have a cigarette next to you.
I wouldn't want to date a smoker because they do smell.
Speaking of dating, if you think smoking will make you look cool, check this out.
Aren't you gonna kiss me?
I gotta go.
Nobody likes to kiss an ashtray.
If smoking's so bad, why do people start? Let's hear what our friends have to say.
I think that young people smoke because their friends ask them to do it. I think young people smoke to make them look older and more sophisticated.
I think young people smoke because they think it's cool.
I think they do it to try to show off and be cool. They're not really knowing the effects of it. They just want to do it just to show off, just to be cool or try to fit in with the crowd.
A lot of times people do it because it seems like it's normal. Like, well, I see other people smoking, so there mustn't be anything wrong with it.
Some people think smoking will make them look grown up or independent. But addiction actually takes away your power to be independent.
It controls how you feel, every minute of the day. The real way to prove your independence is to take care of yourself and make good decisions about your body.
There's another reason why young people try cigarettes, although they usually don't even think about it.
Advertisements. Tobacco ads make smoking look fun and exciting.
After all, tobacco companies are only interested in one thing: selling tobacco.
Tobacco ads try to trick young people into thinking that smoking is cool by showing you people living a very happy lifestyle. They show you people having fun.
Well, they always show young people, very strong people, very good-looking people with like riding horses, playing sports, and riding nice cars.
And when you look at those images, those pictures on the tobacco ads, you have to think to yourself, does tobacco and cigarettes really make me live like that?
You won't become rich, you won't become slim, your hair won't miraculously grow, and you won't date a supermodel.
Like they never show like people in the hospital dying and they're all old and they got tubes coming out of their necks and all that other stuff.
Cigarette makers lose about 5,000 customers a day. That's how many people die from smoking, plus the amount of people who quit smoking every day. If cigarette companies want to stay in business, they have to find lots of new healthy customers.
And their number one target is you. Young people make the best tobacco customers because they'll be around longer to buy the product.
Fact. Worldwide, 200 million children alive today will die because of tobacco.
It's easy to see why cigarette smoke is bad for smokers. But what about non-smokers?
Even non-smokers have to look out for secondhand smoke. Secondhand smoke is what you breathe when someone else is smoking. It has twice as much tar, 5 times more carbon monoxide, and more cancer-causing ingredients than the smoke inhaled by the smoker.
After all, the smoker gets a filter and you don't.
That's why you should stay away from cigarette smoke as much as possible. And if someone in your family's smoking, get some fresh air and tell your friends to not smoke around you.
I got asthma.
Oh.
Because of smoking, not because of me, because of secondhand smoke. Because I was in a house, like everywhere like I went, there were smokers, so I always was around smoking.
Fact. Within just 30 minutes of walking into a room containing smoke, the lining of a non-smoker's arteries begin to sustain damage.
Some people think that using chew or spit tobacco is safer than smoking. But those kind of tobacco products have even more dangerous ingredients than cigarettes. Those ingredients can cause mouth sores and eventually lead to fast-growing cancers of the gums and throat. These cancers can happen to anyone, even teenagers.
Smokeless tobacco is just as addictive as cigarettes. The nicotine found in both of them is exactly the same, has the same effects, it's just as addictive and just as harming.
Since I played sports a lot, smoking cigarettes was prohibited, and if you got caught, you wouldn't be able to participate in the game. So other kids had found chewing tobacco was a supplement during the sports seasons. A lot of my friends, too, after trying chewing tobacco during the season, stayed with the chewing tobacco. The amount of time to become addicted is probably a lot shorter.
Let's see what some of my friends think about spit tobacco.
Oh, it's nasty. It looks like dirt coming out of your mouth.
Looks sick.
Fact. Someone in the United States dies from tobacco every 8 minutes. Worldwide, it's 8 deaths every second. If someone offered you tobacco, what would you say? Here's what some of my friends would say.
I would say no thanks. I don't want my skin to dry out and get wrinkled.
I've been offered, but I said no because my grandmother and my father smoked, and I didn't like it, so I said no.
I just don't, put anything in my body that will harm it because I try to take care of my body as best as I can. Because if a friend tries to offer it to me or pressure me into it, I don't think that person's really my friend then.
Fact. Kids who warn each other about the dangers of smoking help to keep kids away from tobacco. Whatever your reason, practice it until you know it by heart. That way you'll be ready if someone offers you tobacco.
And remember, it's never too late to quit a tobacco habit. But the sooner a person tries to quit, the easier it'll be.
It is not easy to stop smoking. First of all, you have to have a reason to stop. And my reason was I want to live.
And it's so preventable. All you have to do is not start. Because if you start, a lot of times it's hard to control because there's addictive substances in there.
You're going to make all kinds of decisions in your life. And a lot of those decisions deal with peer pressure. But just remember that in all those decisions that you make the decision not to smoke, and you make a decision to live a healthy life based on how you want to live it.
If someone tells you it's just one cigarette, think about this. 1 out of 3 young people who smoke just once continue to smoke and get hooked by the time they're 20. For them, 1 cigarette can lead to a lifetime of breathing poisonous gases.
That's why there are new laws to protect young people from buying cigarettes, like it's illegal to sell tobacco products to people under 18.
So do me a favor. Don't even go into a store that sells tobacco to young people. It's just one more way you can help me take a bite out of crime.